surprising, though, Skip, considering that he went to Alabama, and we know Coach Saban coaches this team hard, that maybe that Coach Gruden started to wear on him. Maybe. I find that very hard. That, you know, when you're used to tough coaching, other tough coaches doesn't bother you. If you played at Alabama, if you notice, Coach Belichick loves getting guys from Alabama. Why? Because he knows they're coached hard. Now, they do come from a very similar system, especially defensively, a 3-4 defense. That's what Coach Saban's run. But Coach Saban served as the D coordinator under Coach Belichick when he was in Cleveland. And so he knows they've been worked hard. He knows they've been coached hard. Okay, but what does Amari have in common with Julio Jones? They're both Nick Saban products, but they're both... They're I'm not saying soft, but they're quiet. Yes. They're not big, outgoing diva personalities. And I think Coach Saban is at such a high level right now with his recruiting that he can pick and choose who he wants and doesn't want. And he liked those two kids because they're good kids, right? And maybe and another thing about it. What makes a coach a good coach is understanding who he's dealing with. Yep. He probably not yelling and screaming at a Julio Jones and an Amari Cooper. I think he left him alone. Yeah. And they were kind of like one-play shays. He only needed a couple from him a game, and he left them alone because he coached the defense hard, right? Yes. And he was kind of on the quarterback pretty hard because he's a game manager and a bus driver, but he needed one big catch a game from those two guys, a couple of big catches to break the game open. That's all they need. But we saw Amari as opposed to Julio. I mean, Julio went over 1,000 yards. But Amari Cooper, I think it's last year, he caught like 117, 120 passes. Because what's the offensive coordinator, Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin did a great job of scheming and getting him the football. He did. I agree. So this is, Skip, he's only in his fourth year. The dude is 24. 24 years old. Let that sink in. He's 24. So let this sink in, and this is not probably going to surprise you, but I saw an ESPN stat last night that Dak Prescott, that only 36.4% of his passes have gone to what you would call open receivers who are 3 yards or more in separation. Only 36.4. That's dead last among the 22 quarterbacks who qualify with 200 or more passes. So of all the starting quarterbacks who throw a lot of footballs, his receivers separate by far the least. And then furthermore, his receivers, his passing yards, only 43.9% of his yards passing have come after the catch. Well, that's 21st of those 22 quarterbacks, okay? So they're not getting open, and they're not breaking away after they catch. A lot of times, Skip, that can be twofold. That can be guys are not getting open, and a lot of that is scheme. Because if you look at the New England Patriots, they get a lot of guys wide open because of scheme. They do a lot of rubs. They do a lot of option routes. And you don't see the creativity of what we see in some of the you look at the Saints, you look at the Rams, you look at Minnesota, you look at Kansas City. Now, most of their yards come after yards after catch because... Most. I think he would be number one on this list by far. Because Andy Reid said, let's get the ball to them as quick as we possibly can. They'll make a guy miss and get yards after that. So a lot of that, I give you credit. I'll agree with that these... Because, Skip, the thing is that in the NFL, you're going to have to throw in the tight windows, but these are not guys that put fear. So they don't back guys up off them because I'm not really worried about you. That's why sometimes Gallup was able to sneak by or Tavon Austin because they don't respect him. And they know Dak doesn't, feel comfortable yet throwing the ball down the field. So I'm going to play tight. Or he doesn't have time to throw it down the field. Don't do that, Skip. Well, he does. Oh, you blame your offensive line? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Maybe this will make them better. I don't know. Oh, maybe they'll hold on for a half second. So now receivers will make it offensive linemen better, huh? Maybe. I don't know. So now, holding out hope. I'm holding out hope because I'm going to be objective about this. To your point, I brought these stats up last week, and I'm going to say them again. Complete objectivity that Amari Cooper, since he's been in the league 3+ years, he's tied for the lead in drops in the National Football League. Why is that? Because I think the focus comes and goes. It does. The intensity comes and goes. But the want to. But Skip, that's what's so... all right. The dude played at Alabama. You focus every single practice, every single game at Alabama. Ain't no ups and downs. No. And furthermore, in those 3+ years, Amari Cooper ranks 210th in the National Football League in percentage of targets caught. So he's getting a lot of throws that he doesn't catch. Is that somewhat on Derek Carr? Maybe. Yes. Maybe he's just wild high, wild low, because we've seen him be that way. Yeah, but I haven't. I mean, he had that great season, Skip, but I was like, you know what? I want to hold out. I was never really bought in like a lot of people were on Derek Carr. And you hear the whispers that Coach Gruden might be willing to move on
Without him, he has 3 first-round picks. Maybe he packaged that if there was a quarterback that he's like. But he's going to be in position to get him. And so he might not have to package anything. So he's going to have a top 5 pick. So he's going to be in position to pretty much get whomever he wants. But this is sad. I feel bad for the Raiders. Because if you knew you was going to move on from these guys, why not keep Khalil Mack? I mean, Skip, $100 million?
Okay. I'm going to say this about Khalil Mack. John Gruden, I'm pretty sure, puts him in the same category with Amari Cooper because, trust me on this, Khalil Mack's effort can come and go where he'll disappear occasionally when you least expect it. And I told you a couple of years ago, because I picked him on the show, our first year on the show, I would root for the Raiders, and I'd say, come on, Khalil, take the game over. And he would just kind of be not part of the fray at the end of the game. And where did he go? And now he's had a couple of down games for the Bears. That's why John Gruden said, I don't love his motor. He doesn't have like an Ndamukong Suh kind of motor, even though Suh takes him over the edge occasionally. He doesn't have high motor. Amari Cooper's not high motor.
But the thing when you're dealing with pass rushers like a Mack, Skip, is that they're not going to get a sack a game because if they did, they'd be the greatest sack person, the greatest defensive player ever. You're not going to get a sack a game. Look at Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald came in the game with 4 sacks. And then he goes bonkers and he dominates a game. You watch him on Monday, you watch him, that was a Thursday night against the Minnesota Vikings, and he can take over a game. There are very few guys that are Von Millers or that are Khalil Mack or Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt, that can completely and physically dominate a game. Hey, go get home. 3rd and 10 or 4th and 5, we need to get off the field. That guy can single-handedly wreck shop. Well, you look at the pressure that the Raiders are generating now, it's next to nothing, Skip. And they don't have guys on the back end that can make you hold the ball or take that check one more time so they're getting time to throw the football. Do you actually think, let me ask you this, do you think John Gruden, when he was interviewed, I don't know if he interviewed, did he tell Mark Davis we're going to be in a rebuild?
I think Mark interviewed him, like he called him.
But
go ahead,
You think he said, you know what, we're in a rebuild. Do you pay $10 million per year for a coach for a rebuild, or you go get a rookie head coach and pay him $2 million, $2.5 million for 4 years to do a rebuild? I'm asking you for...
I think Mark Davis told him, I'm going to give you 10 years, and you check it out, and you go whichever direction.
So he told us a lie. So John Gruden told us a lie, because he told me the Raiders are back. He said the Raiders are back. That's what he said. Now, if it's a lie, he told it, Jenny.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense.
$10 million. So now Raiders fans. So what?
Just a little spin control was all.
Oh,
early spin control.
All alternative facts.
But once he got in and started to coach Khalil Mack and coach Amari Cooper.
He didn't coach Khalil. Khalil never showed up, remember?
Okay, well, but since he was around a little bit around the team and where he started to glean information, I think he decided that's not my kind of guy and that receiver is not my kind of guy. And if I can get 2 firsts for the pass rusher and a first for the receiver,
you know what?
I'm going forward. I'm going to flat out rebuild this. And now guess what he's got? He's got 5 first-rounders in the next 2 drafts. That's a lot.
But when we look at it, Skip Bayless, he's getting a lot of credit for a team that Tony Dungy built with Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks and John Lynch and Rondé Barber.
Yep.
That was Tony Dungy. That wasn't. What did he put in place in Tampa?
Okay, but he did put something in place in Oakland that was pretty special because you guys ended their run in the AFC Championship game, which was at their house in their building,
but
right?
You know what, Skip? Those were a lot of veteran players.
Okay, but your team was one of the greatest teams ever. Seriously.
We had one of the greatest defenses.
Well, I'm just saying, but as a football team, that was a hard team to beat.
Yeah, we were physical.
You just crushed people.
Yeah, we're a physical team. Yeah,
a very physical football team. And remember, it took the tuck rule, which I said, the Patriots got a huge break. That was the worst call I think I've ever witnessed live at a game.
It was worse than the one on Sunday?
No, well, I mean, this changed fate. This changed history. This sent a dynasty.
Well, that might have changed fate on Sunday with the ball moving.
It's just starting in the NFC East because we got Amari, so we're good. Here we go.
Amari. That's what you're going to be saying.
That's Amari.
So every time he catches the touchdown, you'll be like, Amari. No, you won't say that much.
We're used to hearing Amari
it's not going to happen,
from
Skip.
over here.
So I don't mind what John Gruden did because we're the beneficiary.
I want you to have that same energy. That's how you came out here today and how you the Cowboys retraded. I want you to have that same energy for in 2 weeks. In 3 weeks, I want you to have that same fire, that same fervor. When I come out here, I want to hear nothing.
What did I tell you yesterday? The NFC East hasn't even started yet.
That same energy. I want you to have that same. Ooh, you got that energy.
And all of a sudden,
today in the Eagles locker room, the Redskins locker room, they're looking around saying, God, they got Amari.
I mean, I'm looking at you. Look like you took. I'm looking at you right now like you took 5-hour energy and Red Bull. You got the energy. I mean, you perked up. I want you to have that same energy in 2 weeks,
I
okay?
was actually energized by the end of the Spurs and Lakers.
I bet you know what, Skip, man. You're a hater. You gonna do this? Are you gonna be like this forever?
Forever?
Probably.
Yeah. Are you gonna be like this for perpetuity?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
I don't know what you were expecting, Shannon.
I mean, come on, Skip.
You know what you're going to get.
That's all right.
Jenny, let's go to the next.
No, we ain't going to the
okay.
next guy. We got to go.
Oh, well,
Let's not.
you know what? We're going to get used to hearing Amari's name. And then LeBron was the hero to get to overtime. But then does he deserve the blame for the Lakers' loss
that's a good
last
question.
night? Skip has plenty to say. Let's see what Shannon says next.